we're going to talk about how to create a healthy habit today. I'm Sharon Moore, as it says on the screen, Director of Corporate and Community Health Promotion, or probably you've heard us call ourselves CCHP because it's easier. So, first of all, if you want to make a change, you need to really think about what is your motivation? What's driving you to do this? How important is it to you? And why do it now? A lot of times we're wanting to make changes in our behavior or in a habit. The most common ones are eating healthier, losing weight, exercising. And there's something coming up on our calendars that has kind of pushed us to, oh yeah, I think I have a class reunion this summer, or a wedding, or I would just like to, it's gonna warm up, they say. I think I saw 80s on the long-range forecast, so summer will come eventually. And for many of us, you know, that means, well, I might like to slim down a little bit. So, behavior change is not easy, and it also does not follow a linear progression. There are steps, but people go back and forth between those steps quite often. And I'm going to talk about each one for you today. It's not morning anymore, this afternoon. First one is pre-contemplation. Pre-contemplators are probably not any of you because you came to this program. But pre-contemplators are not thinking about changing. They have no desire to change. It's not worth it to them, and just not going to happen. They don't even want to talk about it. Some of you may have a spouse that's that sort of person, maybe. I won't say husband because there's men here. And you obviously want to change, or maybe want to change. Okay, so contemplators are people seriously thinking about changing. They just maybe aren't quite ready to start. You know, as soon as that weather warms up outside, I'll start walking again. Maybe. Or maybe not because I'm really, really busy. But at least they're thinking about it seriously. Biggest excuse we hear for moving forward with what you're thinking about is, I just don't have time. So I went through a little math problem. There's 24 hours in a day, and if you sleep 7, that gives you 17 hours that you're awake. If you sleep less than 7, that's more. But so that, or for half hours, because in the case of exercise, we recommend 30 minutes a day. So that gives you 34 and a half hours every day available to you. And if you take that times 7 days a week, you have 238 half hours, or 30-minute time slots. You have 238 of those every week. So if you do the recommended 30 minutes a day, 5 to 7 days a week, you will only need 5 to 7 of those 238 blocks of time available to you to move, or as little, that works out to 2 to 3% of your time. So maybe you do have more time than you think when you break it down that way. I know it never seems that way, but, oh, what did I touch? Something I shouldn't have. Go away. There. All right. So preparation is the next stage, and that you have finally committed to doing something. You maybe that's why you came today, or you may take another class that we offer. You may have read, maybe reading articles, maybe stuff's coming into your inbox, or you've been out on Facebook and you have a favorite area and that's helping you. You might have bought a book. I don't know, does anybody buy books anymore, or do they just download them and read them on Kindle, or an exercise book, or a video, or you've talked to your doctor. Or maybe maybe you went to the health fair, and when you get your results, you're going to go see your doctor, and that may motivate you to do something. Action stage, this is when you actually start doing it. You're going to practice the behavior that you want to do, which may be exercise, maybe cooking healthier, eating healthier. And then finally, if you've done it for 6 months or more, you're now in what's called maintenance. When you get to that point, feel very good about yourself, because making a change in behavior is not easy. I mean, if it was, we'd all be perfect, right? We'd all have no problems. We'd all be perfect weight, perfect eating habits. So we know that's not true. But 6 months, they say it'll become a habit. Now, does that mean you're done? Done, don't worry about it? No, obviously not, because we have something called relapse. We've probably all been there as well. Because we're not perfect and stuff happens. You have the best plan, you have the best exercise routine, and then you, I don't know, twist your ankle, or something happens at home and you no longer have that block of time that you had, and stuff is going on, you just can't get back into it. When that does happen, though, recognize how you were successful in the past. You did 6 months of something for, you did it. What happened that caused you to relapse? And realize that, okay, I did it once, I can do it again. So, how can you prove your odds, though, of not having that relapse? There are things you can do. First of all, you want to set a goal and make a plan. It is the best way. It is scientifically proven that there's a connection between your brain and writing things on a piece of paper. It helps kind of solidify it in your, but you need to be very specific when you do this. According to Dr. Maltz, human beings have a built-in goal-seeking mechanism. So make it work for you. Because a goal without a plan is a wish. I wish I did this, I wish. It's not gonna get you there. So, as I said, writing it down is a great way to solidify your commitment to what you're doing. Reading it out loud to others, or maybe just to yourself. And then that will help. If your friends know that you're trying to do something, hopefully they're not going to sabotage it. If it's to eat healthier, then maybe they aren't going to tempt you with freshly made cookies that they made last night, or other things that are very hard to turn down. We don't do that. But beware too that sometimes your close friends are, if you're starting a new behavior, they may become concerned that they're going to be left out, because now they're not starting that new behavior, and sometimes they, even not intentionally, but will sabotage your efforts to change. I've seen this with smokers in the past. I've done a lot of cessation classes, and people who quit and their friends are still smoking will have a friend say, oh, yeah, need a cigarette? Here's a cigarette, especially if they're under stress. Now, they get kind of afraid that they're going to lose that good friend of theirs that they used to go outside and have a smoke with. So beware that sometimes a friend might sabotage your good efforts. Oh, darn it, I hit it again. Stop that. All right, so you need a vision. So we're going to set SMART goals, and I have some paper I'm going to pass around. If you guys can just sort of take one and pass it on. This is just a tool, not anything magic, but it is a tool. And again, there is scientific research that says that these kind of goals, setting a SMART goal, makes it more likely that you'll reach that success that we talked about. So, and SMART is the acronym. There's an S in SMART. So we'll look at these, each one individually. The M stands for measurable, the A for achievable, action-oriented, the R for realistic and relevant, and finally the T for time-bound and trackable. So that's a SMART goal. And the paper that's coming is a way to help you do this. Specific goals. Again, it has to be very clear. You have a goal, it has to be specific. You want to create a vision, I mentioned this in the other class. Something that's become popular recently are vision boards. Has anyone ever done a vision board? Heard of a vision board? People that are really, they have a goal, they will actually cut pictures out of what their goal is. They'll put it on a board, get a poster board, old-fashioned, put it up there, and then they say, look at it every day. This solidifies your vision of what you want to do. Whether it's, be more physically active, you may have pictures of people doing that. If it's to lose weight, you may have pictures of people that are slim that I'd like to get there, or it might be a dress you'd like to get into, or for the guys, maybe something else. That can help you with this part of the process. So some examples of being specific. I want to lose weight. Is that specific? No, not really. But if you say I want to lose X number of pounds by July 4th of this year, that's specific. And safely 2 pounds a week, so what would that be? I don't know how many weeks there are till July 4th, but it'd be a chunk of weight. You'd do pretty good. That would be a nice goal. And a lot of people, 4th of July, there's big parties, they might go to the beach, they might go to a pool party. So this would be a specific goal. Now they also need to be measurable. So if you did set that goal, well, you'd want to see how you were doing. Are you moving in the right direction, and how far am I off my goal? Because let's face it, you're invited to a party and maybe the weight loss this week hasn't been what you hoped it would be, so you need to see where you're going. An example, again, if it's food, weighing and measuring, or a food diary. Now, your phone is full of all these great apps these days that you can use to track all this stuff. So you don't have to write it down on paper, but maybe writing it down first and then searching for the app. There's a lot of them out there. MyFitnessPal, it's free. If you've never used it, it's a good one. You have to commit then to putting things into it, but it is there. Or you may have the Fitbits or the Apple Watches, the things that will beep at you if you've been setting too long. We have some people that have that. Then it'll let you know you need to stand up now. It gets annoying, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Or perhaps it's your doctor. Again, like if you came to the health fair or you did your blood work as an employee before the health fair and you're going to be getting your results and you take them to the doctor, you can see where you are, and then if you do the Bravo program in the fall, maybe you set your goal to improve your cholesterol, your blood pressure, whatever it is. It needs to be action and achievable. What can you do to make it happen, and is it reasonable for you? Again, if it's a weight loss thing, 2 pounds a week, is, as I said, is reasonable. But depending on how much you have to lose, how much time you're giving yourself, again, that final weight that you're setting needs to be reasonable. And then how are you going to deal with the unexpected, the things that come up that are going to sort of take you off that nice, narrow, straight path that you're following? What are you going to do? How are you going to handle those times? Some examples. I will drink water instead of soda at mealtimes. Now, we have, over the last few years, learned that even diet soda isn't necessarily good for our diets and our weight loss plan. Sometimes it makes you still want to crave sugar. So it can be detrimental if you're trying to lose weight. Something that I've done, because I've stopped drinking soda quite a few years ago, is gone to the carbonated, like the LaCroix, and actually Kroger makes one that's cheaper, but it's lemon lime flavored. They have different flavors. They have no sugar. They're just a carbonated water. They have an artificial flavor in them. But for the most part, for me, I miss the carbonation of soda. And there were certain foods that I liked pop with. And so this was my go-to. This is how I was able to give it up, is just to go to the carbonated. And if I go out to eat, if you go to a restaurant, most of the time you can order a club soda. And just have them put some lemon and lime in it, and you now have flavor, because water gets bland. It just does. So this gives you a little something different. So that's a way that you could possibly, if you wanted to give up soda, this was a good way to try. I'll stand more and walk during my kids' games. It's coming up to the spring season. There's track and baseball and softball. And some parents I know live at the park in the summertime. Well, you can make a commitment that when I'm at my kid's game, I'm not going to sit there in the bleachers the whole time. I'm going to get up and walk around at least a certain amount of time. And maybe that's that annoying watch that's beeping at you to get up and walk now and get up and move. But that's something you can try. When you eat out, you can substitute a salad for fries. Most restaurants will let you pick a side. I know fries are always very tempting, but maybe you get the salad and you just take a couple fries off your friend's plate, because just satisfy that craving for those fries. And finally, planning your meals for the week. It's tough to do, it takes time, but you know that if you get home at 5 o'clock and you don't have any idea what supper's going to be, it's probably going to be pizza, or get in the car, go to the fast food restaurant, because you're hungry, everybody wants to eat, and oh, I have no idea, and no, I don't have those ingredients. So if you can take some time, and I know again we're back to the time thing, but remember you have 238 30-minute segments of your week, so you could probably squeeze a little time in there to plan your menu for the week, or at least the beginning of the week. Rachel Ray does a thing, Cook for the Week. I think she even has that on her website. But I know there's a chicken dish, like you roast the chicken on Sunday, and then you have chicken salad and chicken tacos, and then you end up making a soup out of the carcass. So you just, like, the whole week you start with a basic thing and you make it work for the week. And then, of course, you have to buy the stuff to go along with it. But those kind of things can help you out. Or you can go get those rotisserie chickens now. You know, that, boom, you don't even have to do it. Those are pretty handy. Put a salad with it, a few veggies, and you've got a meal. The R, the reasonable and relevant. Again, going back, it has to be realistic, and it has to be relevant. It has to be something that is just going to make a difference in my life. You're not doing it for anybody else. You're doing it for you. So, some examples. I will add 15 minutes of activity to my day starting tomorrow, starting next, put a date on there. I will increase my daily activity to 30 minutes per day, 5 days a week by, because maybe I'm just starting out at 15 minutes or 10 minutes, but I want to get up to 30 minutes, the recommended amount. So I'm going to increase it, and I'm going to do it by a certain date. Or, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Or, for stress management, a really good thing, praying or meditating 10 minutes a day at either the beginning or the end of the day. Meditation has been shown to be very, very beneficial to people. A lot of people think, oh, I can't do it. I try and I can't get the thoughts out of my head. And they say now, that's okay. You don't have to be totally blank mind to get the benefits of meditation. Thoughts are going to come in, let them come in, let them go, but it's great for stress management. A lot of benefits have been shown for that type of activity. Time-bound and trackable, establish a clear deadline. Again, most of those examples I gave you, that you've got dates in there, times. You can go so far as to say, I'm going to do my walking at 7 a.m. in the morning or at 6 p.m. at night. Actually, very, very time-bound. And then, if you're writing these things down or you're tracking them on your phone or whatever, then you can see your progress. So here's a few examples. Again, I will walk 4 days each week for X number of minutes each time. I will use an exercise machine is what I meant to put in there. which we have at the Wellness Center, which is where I'm at now. Over where it used to be the Rehab Center on Elm Street is where our department has now moved to. And we would invite you to come anytime and check it out. We're very proud of the new equipment that we have there, and the price for you is really very reasonable. So, and you can come and just check it out sometime. We'd be happy to show you around. This is Courtney Fisher. She's our daytime trainer, and she's one who will help you. We have trainers there all of our open hours, and they'll take you around the equipment. They'll help you set up a program. So no need to be intimidated if you've never used exercise equipment. That's why we're there. Another one, again, journaling, kind of like meditating. It's another one of those things that really can help you. If you can find at least one thing every day to be grateful for. Gratitude journals are highly powerful. It can be tough. You have really bad days, but you know, maybe one thing you're grateful for is the sunshine today. Maybe it's, I got to work on time, or I got home before 6 o'clock, or something. Find something in your day to write in that gratitude journal. It helps you kind of reframe and think about things aren't so horrible. So, now we can even be smarter. We all want to be smarter by adding the ER to the SMART goal. This is kind of new, but it's been around a few years. The E standing for evaluate. Each day, you know, if you set a goal and you're doing great, you wrote it down, but if you're not checking in with yourself on a regular basis, then you just might not get to that finish line. And rewards. Rewards are hugely important. I've done a lot of smoking cessation classes over the years, and I know rewards were one of the biggest things that when I learned to be a cessation instructor that they stress. You need to reward yourself. This is not easy stuff to do. It's not easy to make these changes. And when you see that you're doing well because you're evaluating yourself, then it's time for a reward. It can be a very small reward, but you should do something positive for yourself. And you can set long-term ones as well, as long as you maybe see that you're putting that money away for that long-term reward. Some people like to put it in a jar. That can help. Something very visual. So what if you fail? Well, who doesn't fail? I mean, we are human, and we all have probably changed the behavior and maybe fallen off the wagon, but learning from it. Again, back to smoking, it takes the average smoker 5 to 7 times before they're successful. And I always like to tell them that. Just what, you know, I've had people come to class who quit for 2 or 3 years, and then something happened and they went back to smoking. Well, what happened? Why, you know, what changed? What made that happen? You learn from that mistake, and you just move forward and try to figure out how you can avoid that happening again. Might need to adjust your goal. That's always possible. And make a new plan. Just don't give up and don't beat yourself up, because we have so much negative self-talk going on in our heads. You're not good enough. You're not thin enough, you're not healthy enough, you know, exercise. We do it to ourselves all the time. We would not talk to our best friend the way we talk to ourselves. So try to think in those terms. Would I say that to my best friend? Then don't say it to you either. Finally, there is really no secret to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. That kind of just what we've been talking about. So, it is now question time. Any questions? Comments? Has anyone ever tried setting a goal on paper, writing it down, gone through the whole process? It's kind of a pain when you think, you know, but it really, I mean, you just like, I don't want to do all that stuff. I myself, I've been, go use Fitbit. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to get it. It's bad enough to read my emails every day and my texts and Facebook posts. I don't need another thing, but I know I should. I know that's gonna be making things more successful. But again, we're all human, and we will do, you know, as I said, this is a tool, not magic. So